We have a brief introduction to the setting that you are welcome to read at your leisure, and I hope you will, so you can be as immersed in the world as our players are. Without further ado, please enjoy this episode of Razia's Shadow, a 1,000-Year Interlude. Let's recap. Session 25. Speak It Into Existence. The Novices, along with Captain Nora Isalin, took the evening to rest. There was hair braiding and magical tricks. There was another game of Highland Roulette, also known as Truth or Dare, where a few unexpected things were revealed and more was kept close to the vest. Ste'yn finished off the night with an urban legend about a grisly murder involving a man with the same name as Beau. Beau quietly asked Ste'yn to meet him outside without alerting the others. He confronted her about the urban legend and revealed it had more truth than she knew. He was friends with the dead man and started using his name when Beau was also suspected to be dead. He obliged to tell Ste'yn his real name, or what he claimed was Varen Leodon. The next morning, the first thing on Snow's mind was to reach out to his twin sister Taryn using Ste'yn's sending spell. The response wasn't what he hoped for, but Ste'yn assured him she would try again another time. With everything packed up, the group began the rest of their trek to the ruins of Undra. You guys have taken down the tiny hut. You also all have lovely flower crowns on your way out. So all your belongings are packed up. Cherry is prepared thanks to Viola. Is she though? Viola, can you give me an animal handling check?
I most certainly can.
I love starting our session strong.
This is how we started the last session, was with an animal check.
That is a 24.
Hey.
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
Almost as good as it gets.
Yes, Cherry is very cooperative this morning. For whatever reason, she is seemingly happy to see you, even. Stands still, ready to have the cart all hooked up, latched up, filled up, and when you guys are prepared, you make your way.
How far away were we from Undra? That's what it's called,
Like
right?
15, 20 minutes, I think, something like that.
Yeah, you're only about a quarter mile out.
Okay, well then once they start heading out, Beau's gonna remember to cast Mage Armor, and he's gonna cast it now, because it lasts for 8 hours.
Very
and I don't know what
smart.
he's gonna find.
I don't know what you might find. That's
So
not
he
true.
casts that to get his armor class up to 16.
It's a short trip. I don't know if there's anything anyone wants to do on this short trip. Snow, give me a quick perception check.
Favorite. That is 7.
We should all just borrow Ste'yn's perception.
I think
That's
Viola
what I
said
said
the same
last
thing.
time.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
agreeing with her. The symbiotic relationship.
You guys are making
It's
your
like
way.
how paladins have like auras, you know? If you're
Yeah.
within the aura, you get a bonus to your saves. If you're next to Ste'yn, you just get a bonus to your perception.
Yeah, the
I'm about
bonus
to
is just
home
her
brew that
pointing it
spell
out to you.
for real.
I know,
She
she's
could
got
do it.
enough modifier to go around.
Just share the love, Ste'yn. Come on. Snow sees
Forest.
that it's a bit cloudy today. Orcs.
No, I said forest. It's just
Oh, I think
these
it's
are trees.
orcs. I'm like, dang.
No.
You're suddenly surrounded.
And he's the
People
first to
everywhere.
notice.
Huh? No, you notice it's a slightly cloudy day, a little gloomy, a bit. The trees are still. You have a lot of evergreens in this area. Cherry seems happy, flicking her tail around while you're walking.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
I feel very confident about the events of today.
When
No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say when they're about 10 minutes out, Beau's also gonna begin ritually casting detect magic.
Okay, not a problem. You are welcome to do so.
So it will be done just as they arrive.
Cool. Nora is up front, keeping kind of surveillance. And as you guys are approaching, she's watching and, you know, she seems very aware. She's looking about. You don't notice any more of, you know, any of that dark mist or anything like that. It hadn't gotten this far, or it wasn't over here anyway. But you don't notice anything that's so obviously, you know, of the dark. even as you guys are coming down this familiar path, the trees are not too far ahead. The trees are starting to part into this clearing that you recognize, and Nora will turn back to the rest of you. Perhaps we should move a little quieter from this point forward. Maybe the horse should stay back.
Okay. Viola will steer her towards like a tree where it looks like she'd be kind of obscured from the hut and tie her off so she doesn't run off.
Okay, what color is Cherry?
Cherry is a beautiful brunette horse.
Okay.
Lovely brunette with some light. You know, when the sun hits her just right, kind of almost looks goldish. Very pretty. They have nice horses at Kratimino. So you guys disembark, you get off the horse with your thing? All right. You start to move forward. Nora falls back towards where you are, Snow. And she puts a gentle hand on your shoulder with kind of a slightly inquisitive look. Sort of,
Hello.
are you all right?
Never better.
You sure? I know for all you mentioned about potentially not remembering things, being here the last time, don't think was a particularly fond memory either. And I don't think you'd forget it so quickly.
I mean, that was then. This is now. I'm sure it'll be fine. Are you alright? You didn't end that day in the best of health either.
I'm all right. I don't think there's much to do here. Or if it was, I don't feel it now.
Well, if you see any blood, don't dive into it.
I will do my best to avoid it. I'm not a great swimmer anyway.
Speaking of diving into blood, are we going downstairs or no?
I think that's most of the point of this, is to see what's there.
If we're all gonna talk, why don't we just bring the horse?
Nora was the one who suggested not bringing
Good
the horse,
point.
and she was the first one to start talking, so...
I was only checking, but fair enough.
Do you need the horse, Beau? Are you that tired? Do you need to be carried?
No.
Ste'yn and I can put you in a papoose. We could
Nora looks
joint
very
carry
confused.
the papoose between us.
Papoose.
Gonna keep walking.
So are we going to be stealthy? Because if not, I'm going to start playing music.
Should I take off my armor?
Don't play music!
No. Keep that armor on.
I'm kidding. I've learned my lesson. Okay, quiet now.
One last thing, we don't actually have to go down there. We just need to confirm it's there.
Okay.
I mean,
You don't have to go back down if you don't want to.
We already know it's there, though.
But the other people didn't find it, so that's the whole point of us being here. Or at least they didn't report that they found it.
They also didn't report Ziva missing that we know.
Very true.
There's a lot of things that they didn't report.
Alright, we're ready. So you guys, you can choose to stealth forward if you'd like, or if you just wanted to walk. The horse would be louder than you just walking.
You know Viola's gonna try to stealth.
Love it. If you want to attempt to stealth, go ahead and give me a stealth.
Let's roll some nice disadvantage.
Oh, I rolled a nat 20, but the other one was a 4. So
Wow.
that is a 7.
I rolled a
actually.
2 for his stealth, but he also has a +9, so he has an 11.
Wow.
They rolled a 22.
Ste'yn got a 17. No, sorry, 15.
But Beau was going ahead when they were having their little powwow, so he was potentially just jogging on faster because he wants to get there before his spell wears off because he only has 10 minutes.
Oh,
the
yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once the hovel is in view, Ste'yn's going to cast Detect Evil and Good.
And remind me what that lovely spell does.
So this lovely spell, for the duration, Ste'yn knows that there's an aberration, celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of her, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, she knows if there is a place or object within 30 feet of her that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it's blocked by 1 foot of stone, an inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt, and it lasts 10 minutes.
You guys make your way to the hovel. You approach. Nothing like saying you don't see anything. Curse magic. Right from the jump. In 30 feet of you. Interesting.
Yep, like a big sphere bubble,
Yeah,
30
big,
foot
beautiful,
all around.
bubbly sphere of...
Above,
Ste'yn
below,
likes
behind,
her-
beneath.
her sphere aura things.
She does.
I love
They're
having
horrible.
a map in front of me. Oh, no.
Well,
Just for that, you go blind. Okay, as you're approaching the hovel, past the line of trees, and it's opening into this clearing. You guys know it looks very similar that it did before. You can see the walls that look real beat up and worn. You see the bow bush out front with a few late blooms on it. Still more of these evergreens all around. Some of them with a few leaves starting to have some pretty color change in them. You otherwise don't spot anything. You're not Ste'yn, you're not catching anything at this moment. Beau, yes, there's magic for sure.
What
Within.
kind?
You only get to know that if you can see it.
Oh, so I can't see whatever the magic is.
Yeah, you know that there is magic in a 30, I think yours is also 30 foot?
Yeah.
Yes, there is magic in a 30-foot radius of you. Magic exists in this area for sure, as you are approaching the hovel. Everyone give me a perception check, if you please.
9.
Snow, what are you doing? Do better! We want
He's
so
being
much from
stealthy.
you.
I got
That's
18.
Sorry, Beau got 18.
Ste'yn
Viola,
gets a
what'd you say?
36.
That's true.
Viola got a 16.
just a 32.
That was that popped in my head.
That
I
was
should have
close.
said 32.
You all notice that, well, no, you do also notice. The building itself actually looks more worn down than when you first saw it. It looks like it has decayed further. The wood looks less stable. It's browned, darker, with some kind of off color, almost grayish stains on it. It doesn't look actually like the way that it held Beau last time he climbed up that wall to peek in from the roughshod ceiling. It doesn't look like it would necessarily hold his weight well this time, even light Beau. You would have questions if you wanted to climb up that wall. You might try, it's up to you, but questionable.
I'll make like Viola and strip down first to decrease his
Yeah,
weight.
perfect. Excellent. That's how you do it. So, you also notice that the ground around it, like the grass, also looks like it's yellowed, dried. It's like it's very dead-looking grass. So as you're approaching, you see this, you see the front wall there in front of you. There's maybe like 15, 20 feet of it that's a little bit closer to you, and around that is where the door, that front door is, and then the rest of the wall continues before it curves around the side. The door is closed up front.
So he's gonna go open the door.
Ste'yn is right behind him.
Okay.
Snow is
everyone else?
putting his staff into the bag of holding. Because last time it was almost left.
Oh, that's true. Are you two running ahead, or are you all going in together?
I think we're in a pretty tight group. I think
Yeah.
it's just Ste'yn and Beau are at the front.
Now, when he touches the door, does it just fall off its hinges, or does it open like regular?
It does not fall off its hinges.
Okay.
It does open. It squeaks, and it feels loose on the hinge, but it does not fall off the hinge. Can everyone please give me an intelligence saving throw?
I love saving throws.
I got a 17.
I got a 7.
18?
10.
No, you can roll with advantage.
This time I got a 21.
Much better. I'm taking you off my failure list.
Thank you.
However, there
I
are
appreciate it.
The list is not empty. So you guys walk in. What's your marching order? I should have asked.
I guess it's
I know you're
Beau,
like a tight
Ste'yn,
group, but
and then beyond that, I'm not sure. Did Nora pass?
okay. Nora's in the group.
So did she pass?
One of the groups.
What
Probably
did she
the failed
roll?
group.
So
We'll see.
I guess more importantly, Beau and Ste'yn, you guys walk in. Well, you open the door. You guys are standing there, and you are immediately bombarded with what seems like dust had fallen from overhead, or it was disrupted. But this large amount of dust is suddenly just in your face. It's trying to like get in your. It's almost like it's getting in your eyes. It stings a bit. For most of you, you find yourselves coughing as it's kind of choking you a bit. Just, this dust all over.
Snow will be behind Ste'yn and Beau next in the marching order.
Snow, you are also coughing, this dust all in your face. Viola, as you're starting to cough and this dust is getting on you, it's so thin, right? It's like such a fine dust. You suddenly have it in your mind that you should not be here. You are adamant that you need to leave. You need to leave. You need to go back to the city. You need to not come back here. And you are adamant about it.
Viola will stop at the doorway then. Guys, we shouldn't be here. We need to go back home. I'm going to go get Cherry ready right now, and I'm leaving whether you guys come with me or not. And she's
Viola,
gonna
we've
turn and start
gone
walking
through this
towards the
last
car.
time.
Viola,
It's fine.
come back.
And
She's ignoring you guys and continues to walk. Unless
Nora-
something changes as she walks away.
If only I had hold
Nora
person.
nods and she agrees. She says, "This was a terrible idea. I should not have brought you here."
No,
They're
we didn't
far too
fight a
many
tree to then show up at a shack and turn around.
We can't
Nora's our
stay.
is
captain.
going
We need to follow
to-
our orders. I agree with her. We need to go.
Snow is going to use counter charm so that everyone can roll with advantage on any saves against being frightened or charmed.
Snow, you cast this. I'll have you guys, the three of you, Snow, Ste'yn, and Beau, give me another perception check.
Ah, it's the best.
That's
so
a
far.
natural 20.
15.
12.
You guys know every time when they look at you and tell you that we need to leave, like we need to get out of here. You can see the dust that's still on them. Most of it seems to, like, it's kind of lightly clinging, but with a quick brush it'll come off. But there seems to be some of it kind of clinging around their eyes, a little like around their noses. It's clinging there. Whereas the rest seems to just kind of keep floating off. And you don't see that on yourselves as you've brushed it off of yourself. But Viola and Nora, I guess, begin to walk away.
Do we need to re-roll for Snows?
The counter charm,
They
do
get
they
the counter
reroll
charm.
now or
just
is it not
depends
yet?
it depends on whenever they have to make another save.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't force a reroll. It just means whenever they roll a save.
Yeah, so Viola's
What's the range?
puffing it back to the cart.
It's anyone who can hear me within 30 feet.
Nora turns back around and she looks at the three of you. We need to leave.
We're not leaving. Come back.
We just got here.
It's
I was
the
just
magic
gonna-
messing with you. Come back.
So he's just gonna go start moving those rocks, or for that area. He's done with this. He's just
going all the way inside?
He's just going on. Yeah.
Does this count as
Ste'yn?
splitting the party?
Well, he's not planning on going down the tunnel, but he just wants to see if he can find it.
Ste'yn's gonna go after Nora and Viola.
Okay. Beau, you walk in and you find that those rocks are not in the way. They've been moved already. You also
I was in the doorway, trying to be in the middle of everyone, keeping everyone in sight.
very smart. With the door open, you have to like peek out the door and then like turn in and see Beau the way the wall is, but you can keep your eye on everyone at some given moment. Beau, you get a lot of magical ping as soon as you walk
Can he
into
use
the
an
house.
action to figure out it now, or is it still not visible?
Some of it is visible as you're heading towards the stairs. So what you also see immediately in this hovel, everything inside also looks just further deteriorated, and it was already really bad when you saw it the first time. What you see also is just piles and piles of dust on the floor, on top of the broken furniture, all along the walls. It's everywhere. It's over by the door, that second door off to the other side, the back of the floor or the room. The dust that's by the stairs, which are in fact clear, gives you a ping of conjuration magic
Okay, so there's conjuration magic on the stairs.
surrounding the dust.
Okay.
So the dust in front of the stairs has conjuration magic.
Mm-hmm.
Snow, do you know anything about conjuration stuff? There's something over here by the stairs.
What is it?
What does it look like, I guess?
Does it
It
just look
just
like
looks-
dust?
It just looks like piles of dust.
So it's piles of dust
little-
that are... I
Little
guess
piles
it's
of dirty dust.
dust that's been summoned or something.
That's weird.
Beau's gonna pour water on it.
On the dust?
Yeah, on the pile of dust that you're saying
Okay.
isn't... Try
Yeah.
and weigh it down.
So you head over there. Most of a good chunk of the dust it's around the stairs. It's also on this, looks like there's a cloth that, have been strewn about that's also right at the top of the stairs, and there's dust on top of that too. So you grab your water skin, you start pouring it on the dust.
Yeah, like a little bit at first, just see if it does anything, I guess.
It
Has Snow
kind
ever
of,
heard of something like this?
you can give me an intelligence.
Arcana?
Yeah.
Can Beau
Um,
also make an Arcana while he's trying
Not
to
good.
put it out?
You may.
Alright,
And as you're pouring the water onto the dust, it becomes this.
mine's not
like,
good either. Oh wait, this time I will try and see if my... Well, this is probably gonna be a long shot. Ooh, it's not gonna be good. He's got a 9.
Okay.
Well, Snow's is better than that, at least. It's 14.
Okay. The dust, Beau, as you're pouring the water, becomes this kind of sticky and gritty, muddy-ish kind of mess. Though it does seem to dry quickly, the cloth on the ground is still sopping wet, and now it's just kind of like clinging to the old wood, just kind of sopped and sitting there, right at like the foot of the steps. A 14. Between it being conjuration magic that Beau mentioned, and it being dust, kind of dusty, earthy, it kind of gives you an elemental kind of sense. But as it is not a creature. It makes you think of an elemental, perhaps. Outside of the hovel,
real
Ste'yn goes
quick,
running after.
When the door
Uh-huh.
was opened, did anything in the hovel happen to ping with detect evil and good? Any new presence? Should they moved a little bit closer?
I'm gonna say no.
Snow will also call out to our 2 wanderers to come back, continuing the counter charm in case they get another save.
Yes, Ste'yn, you're just gonna go and try and pull them
Mhm.
back?
Literally grab them if need be and stop them.
Say that's the only way that Viola would stop, is if someone's like physically trying
Like
to
just
restrain
hold them by
her.
the back of their collars and
You catch up to Viola as she's heading out. Viola, I can't imagine you're allowing her to pull you back somewhere you know you're not supposed to be. Can I please have opposed athletics?
19.
dirty 20.
You are able to pull them both enough to stop them, to kind of jar them back. Viola, give me another intelligence saving throw.
With advantage?
Advantage.
With advantage.
That is a 10.
With advantage?
I rolled
Girl.
a 6 and an 8.
Nora rolled a nat 20.
Yes.
Well,
Yay!
good for Nora. So Viola will continue to struggle against Ste'yn.
Ste'yn's just gonna pull her. And I don't care if she's moving at like half speed because of it. She's just gonna drag her
Yeah,
along.
you jar them both, but you feel much less resistance from Nora as she turns around, and you can see the dust that was sitting on her face seems to be loose enough again that it kind of just, when she rubs at it, it just kind of falls away. And she sees you dragging Viola. What was that?
Magical
just
effect made you want to leave.
We need to leave. We're not supposed to be here.
on.
Nora agreed with me. We need to get back to the cart and go back to where we came
We're
from.
not going back to where we came from, Viola. Trust
Viola
me.
just continues to argue and like straight against her and try to get away.
Nora reaches into her bag, pulls out her own water skin, and she splashes it in Viola's face. Viola, roll another intelligence saving throw for me, please.
This is
Yeah.
also
As long
the
as
second time where Viola's had something going on with her and then had water poured on her head.
You get the brunt of this disgusting smog. It chokes you. You are gagging, trying not to vomit. Your eyes are burning and tearing at this god-awful smell.
Beau, I am never, ever going along with any of your ideas again.
Well, I mean,
As you try to speak, it's just sticking to your throat. You can barely speak.
Oh, I got an idea. I got a flask of water. What if we just throw it on her? Pour it over the top. It should take out that.
Okay. Now Viola is choking and she's wet.
Beau's over there thinking if only this also made her so she couldn't talk.
14?
Okay. The splash of water in your face, Ste'yn, you see the dust run off immediately with it as it falls onto her armor. And Viola, you no longer feel the urge to leave. You do remember feeling the need to leave. Something important, and this place is dangerous and there's something important back at the city that you need to get to, but it no longer feels like it makes sense, whatever was going through your head, as your face is now dripping. And Nora apologizes for the brash action.
She'll start to wipe her face off and be like, I guess we can stay for now, but I still don't know that we should be here, but I mean,
We'll
fine.
leave as soon as we
Could've just-
can,
Okay.
but we have a
I'm
mission
gonna
to
what?
do.
Well, I wonder how far Elikin's group got, if that was waiting for them at the front door.
Well, maybe that's why
Probably
they didn't
not far.
find anything.
All right, well, let's go before something else comes and see what they found inside.
Let's get back inside.
And Nora, you don't need to apologize for breaking someone out of a spell.
She could apologize for dousing me with water. That's not even the first time that's happened here. I'm getting kind of sick of this place.
What happened?
I got like a fart cloud on my face. and I
No,
couldn't
we
wait to
told you
stop.
all this.
I don't know if we gave all those
Oh.
details,
I
honestly.
mean, you said that we
I
told
like
them
this.
everything. So that would be part of the
Right,
everything.
Right, the cloud. Right, the noxious cloud. That's right. I remember now. Yes. Well, hopefully.
Only
no
the
more of that.
water didn't work last time.
Then I'm glad it worked this time. And she'll hand you some small towel that she has. Just
Viola will take it and continue to dry her face off.
Ste'yn's
Okay.
going to gently guide them as they're doing this, just towards the...
back
Hovel.
to the hovel.
Is she mother-handing them? Just a little bit.
The only one other thing that I'm wondering if I could try on the dust, can I try prestidigitation to clean the dust away on the top of the stairs? That little patch that you're talking about.
Sure.
Does it work when he tries doing that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, right. It's a cantrip. It's just like, poof, we do it. Yeah. Dust there. Poof, you've cleaned that one spot. The little cloth on the ground is also, does that also, I guess it dries? Just if it's all getting cleaned? Now there's a dry tripping hazard.
I don't think it dries, but it might get
Yeah, I don't think it does.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah,
wet
it
and
just
clean.
cleans. Okay, but that wasn't like the
Warm it.
source or anything, this patch, or anything
There's
settling
more
down?
dust. There's more dust around the top of that stairwell leading down. But just looking down, and I'll say when you all get back here, you can all see this now. Looking down, you see it goes down about, 15 feet. There is not some long, winding, dark stair. There is a mostly dilapidated staircase, a wooden staircase. A few pebbles left over from where the larger rocks were moved aside that got left behind. There is a dark space below it, but it's just dark. The natural lighting from here is reaching down, at least to that area at the bottom of the steps. It seems to be leading to another room, but not deep down the way it had before.
I was gonna go forward and investigate for, I don't know, if it's an illusion or something.
You're gonna start heading down the stairs?
Should we
Yeah,
tie a rope to you?
it's okay. Yes, Featherfall.
Yay! Okay.
Okay.
Ste'yn will be right behind them.
Give me a dexterity saving throw. Anyone going down the stairs? Well, use 2 first because you're going down first.
Hey, that is a 25.
Let's go.
That's a 12?
Snow is just watching.
These are bad stairs. In a very familiar scene, except roles reversed. Beau starts moving, creeping down the stairs carefully, the stairs feeling like they sink a little bit under your footsteps. Ste'yn takes 2 steps down, also feeling it sink, but the second step entirely sinks underneath her, cracks the step, and she starts to fall.
Is she falling like standard,
Down.
like crawl space amount, or is she falling the exact same height that Beau fell?
It's not the same height Beau fell. It's less than that, but it's not crawl space, it's like room. She's dropping down. Which includes 3 points of bludgeoning damage as she drops the 15
Cool.
feet.
She can tank that. And
That's
she
fair.
maintains concentration on Detect Evil and Good.
Oh, lovely.
Viola
Um,
yells down and asks if Ste'yn's okay and what's
I'm-
going on down there.
I'm fine. Just being my clumsy self.
Nora also looks very worried at the top as looking down the second hole in the stair now. That the first one was easy to get over. This one is new.
You see anything down there?
Do I see anything down here?
So down below, you are in another room that is about as long as the room upstairs. Seems to match pretty closely, which was, a good 50, 60 feet across. This one though it looks like a basement, a cellar. It's just entirely covered in dust. There are even larger piles of this dust going across the center of the room. There, along the walls, you see broken furniture. You see old, worn-out cabinets, some partially open barrels that also are broken down. Some have, old stale water in it, kind of like upstairs had. For funsies, you also see a wine rack that does not look like it is empty either. So there you go. But everything in here is absolutely covered from ceiling to walls to floor in more of this brown dust. Across from you, the only thing that kind of looks sturdy or not as broken down maybe, there is almost directly across from you, and it's a square room. Almost directly across from you is this stone font on the wall, which has some water in it, but also has a layer of this dust. And on the other side of it, broken, but this stone pillar just standing upright to the about 10 feet from that font. And then one last stone thing. Everything else in here is wood. The last stone thing is another one of these pillars off in the far corner of the room. But great big piles of this dust kind of go along the center. So to cross through that would be difficult. You'd have to go slowly through that.
Any
Sorry.
pings from Detect Evil or Good, or maybe Beau detecting any new magic down here?
Yes.
Which?
Yes. Yes. Beau, you start to make the rest of your way down the stair. You are still sensing magic all over this room. And you do see more of it around that dust. Particularly the dust on the far side of the room where that font is in that one stone pillar that are about 10 feet apart from each other. Ste'yn, you suddenly have this sense that was not there before. Something is now there, or it appears to be appearing as the dust in the room starts to, as if a wind from nowhere, it's starting to move, it's starting to rise a bit, swirl a bit, and it seems to be moving towards the other side of the room near that font, gathering into this swirl. It starts spinning violently, growing larger and becoming a lot more substantial than just that fine, thin dust that was there. It starts to form into a shape, and you are staring down an elemental creature that its head finally starts to form, staring you all down. This long kind of snout, these really piercing, glaring, dark eyes. Its face seems to like kind of spread as if it's just constantly moving like dust, but it looks sharp somehow still, almost scaly as this creature starts to open its mouth, and you can see these dust-lined sharp teeth as an elemental forms in front of you. I think it's time to roll initiative.
Did we all get
What
down the
kind
stairs
of
at this
creature
point?
was it?
I think it's an
If you were making
elemental.
your way down.
Oh, perfect. Elemental. I just missed that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No. Well, I know Beau got to the bottom. I just didn't know if everybody else did. Is it just Ste'yn and Beau down
They're
there?
at least on the stairs.
Okay.
Snow was just waiting for Ste'yn to say if there was literally anything down there, and then he was gonna go down.
There's something down here.
It's an elemental, big
So
elemental.
he's going down.
Come ready to fight.
Oh.
Snow stays upstairs. No.
What?
Snow just stays upstairs. Okay. I heard Viola got a nat 20.
Which gives her, what, 23 total? 'Cause she has a 6. Yeah.
Snow.
Dirty 20.
16.
Ste'yn.
13.
Beau, what is your dexterity?
16?
So, let's set this scene a little bit and make sure everyone is where they ought to be. So, Beau, did you go all the way to the bottom of the steps?
Yeah.
And then the rest of you are at the top of the, well, not the tippy top, but I'll say you had some time to come down. So you see this square basement entirely flush with dust. Some of that dust coming together to form this large creature in front of you. You can see in the center of the room, there's kind of this line of this high pile of dust. Moving through that would be considered difficult terrain, unless you're going around it. And you can see numerous things along the walls. Over to the left is where that wine rack is. Further up, you see 2 of those cabinets. On the right-hand side is where you can see what appears to be that broken furniture, like the seating furniture. And then on the far side of the room, right behind this large dust elemental, you can see those few stone objects. Viola, you're up first.
Okay, so
If I did not
remind
have-
me how difficult terrain works.
It takes you double your movement to move through a square that is difficult terrain.
Okay.
And when you're looking at this map, when you're looking at these, any square that this dust is in, so like this is a 4 square right in front of you, that would be difficult terrain. Anywhere that the dust is through.
She's gonna take out her crossbow and shoot at this thing. That's a nat 20 to hit.
Hey.
Ah, that'll hit it.
7 damage.
Lovely. As you launch your crossbow, and you see it kind of slow down as it hits the creature before it continues the rest of the way out and strikes the wall behind it. And it lets out this small, gruff little snort, which is lets more dust billow out.
Feeling like I might have resistance.
What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. So can I...
Bring
So
out the
did
dust
I-
buster.
Did I hit the enemy and deal damage to it?
It appears that you have done damage to it, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to, because this thing has popped up and it's the only enemy she sees in the room, she's going to use one of her favored foes and add a d4 to it.
Okay.
So that's 4 more damage to that. Marked as her favorite foe.
What type of damage does it do?
It doesn't say, so I would assume it's just the same as the,
Of the damage you already dealt.
yeah,
Tacked
piercing.
on? Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, you increase that damage by 1d4.
Perfect. All right. Anything else?
That'll be it.
All right. Next up.
I think it's snow.
Nope.
Oh,
Please
never mind.
hold. Now it's Snow's turn.
Wait, did I miss something that happened?
I don't
did
like
not.
that nothing happened.
Gonna wander down the stairs. Do I see anything hostile in the room besides this big dust boy.
Give me a perception check.
9.
You see a big dust boy.
All right, feeling pretty confident.
You started the day feeling
Gonna
confident.
move.
I think he's the enemy.
And nothing has changed. Come down.
Suspicious.
Seems sus if you ask me. So, gonna cast Phantasmal Force on it, which is an intelligence saving throw.
It definitely failed that throw. What does it think it sees?
It thinks that occupying a 10-foot square in front of him is a fire elemental bearing down on him.
I thought a feather
Okay.
duster was gonna show up.
It takes some damage, 4 points of psychic damage. However, it believes it is taking fire damage. Bonus action. Actually, no. I will hold off on the inspiration. I'm going to save that. That is my turn.
You see Nora come down the stairs and pulls out her blade that appears to have this dark, kind of grim glow about it. As she launches it towards the creature, the first strike seems to miss. She kind of summons it back to her hand, launches it again, which does aim true the second strike. You can see the dagger seem to slow as it goes through the dust elemental's body. The dust is really riled around the dagger as it finishes and goes the rest of the way through.
Does it look like it took full damage since it's a magical dagger?
It lets out a louder roar than it did when Viola struck it. Beau, darling.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Is your
first, Beau is going to use his bonus action to do Blade Song. So he answers that state. So that
First
increases
Blade
his
Song.
armor class. So he's now an
Baby's
18.
first blade song.
And so that was his bonus action. I guess I could just use his regular action. He's just going to stay there and he's going to throw a knife. He rolled a 19, so that's going to be a 25 to hit.
25 definitely hits.
All right, cool. Well, this is going to be disappointing because it's just, there's nobody there and he has no way of doing anything else. So that's going to
Aw,
be 7 psychic damage.
my sneak damage, no!
Yeah, 7.
I mean, that's
Okay.
almost the same as what Viola did with a crit, so...
Question. For all intents and purposes, the Dust Devil does believe that there is an enemy within 5 feet of it. Therefore, sneak attack should apply.
Is
Because
it
it
from the
is
perspective
being-
of the enemy, or is it from the perspective of the person who needs the distraction in order to deal sneak damage?
Well, the point of needing a distraction is that there is someone hostile
Yeah.
to the person you're going at.
Oh.
And as long as there's a hostile creature,
Yeah, it says that I would
then
treat it as
that
if it's
person
real.
is occupied. Exactly.
Go for it.
Okay, so he got sneak attack.
I love this. This is great. That's a phenomenal way to use Phantasmal Force.
All right, so then that's another 5.
Give your rogue sneak attack damage.
Another 5
Big brain
psychic.
energy.
That's what I'm here
Okay.
for.
Give it brain damage. Dan.
Ste'yn is going to cast. I'll do some Sacred Flame. I need a Dex saving throw from our Dusty Boy.
Dusty boy.
Oh man, now I'm thinking
That
I
is
should have had.
only... Huh?
I was thinking I should have had Beau step away from Nora. In
That
case
is a
of
fun-
AoEs, he could be far away from.
Nice! It's going to take some damage then. It takes a whopping 5 radiant damage.
He lets out another kind of almost like a belching sound through its roar as another cloud of wisping dust comes out where it was struck.
Let's see, and then, because that was a cantrip, she's also going to do, I think this is the way it works, she can do Spiritual Weapon
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
bonus action.
Slam it.
So she brings up her nice
Slay.
golden sparkly shovel that has some decorative roses around it. And she's gonna, put it right over here next to our Dusty Boy. And we're going to attack with that. That is a 18 to hit.
18 hit.
That is 8 force damage. From dust you came, to dust you will return.
Have you used your inspiration yet?
No.
Would you like to offer your inspiration to someone else?
Sure, give it
I'll take
to
it.
Viola.
Viola, you've got inspiration.
Viola already has inspiration.
Oh, then Snow.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do, Ste'yn?
No, she's good.
All right. You see this creature, the dust around the ground swirling violently, and then start moving forward. It makes its way over the dusty ground. It seems to clear some of it as it goes, only to have the dust return right below it and right behind it as it stops right in front of and then basically on top of Nora and Beau.
I knew I should have stayed by her.
So is it ignoring the large fire elemental that was speeding it up?
It doesn't have to know. It has to know. I'm sorry.
I mean, I could start
It
go around
it doesn't have to.
Yeah, you see the movement. You see it start to go. You see it gather these piles of dust together to form these arms that look almost like hide and claw, and it goes to strike at this phantom image. Yeah,
It's
you
a
see
pretty
it start
fun
taking
spell.
these enormous swipes at nothing. Nothing is there, and it just is roaring viciously at air.
You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah. Viola, we're back to the top of the round.
Does this and these two squares right there, are those difficult terrain?
Yes, anywhere that you see the pile of dust touching.
You also can go into it,
So if
into
I'm
the
here, can
It's
I
not going to hurt
make-
you being in it.
I know. Is this from that like catty cornered movement right there? Is that only 5?
That is 5.
So while she was moving, she put her crossbow away and she pulled out her short sword and rapier. And she's just gonna start swinging at this thing first with her short sword. That is a 24. So
It's
that
okay.
first short sword is going to deal 10 damage. And then she's gonna swing with her rapier. That is an 18 for 8 damage.
Okay.
And then she's gonna go ahead and action surge. Short sword again. Ooh, I don't know about that. 14?
14 does not hit. Okay, is that all?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's the secret turn.
Mhm.
All I need is for Snow to give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Not good. Oh good, I'm proficient in that. 11.
Before you're able to react to anything else, dust from the walls around you seems to, maybe it was shaken by the movements of this dust devil, whatever it might be. Although it seems very targeted because suddenly there is dust that is immediately clinging to your face. It is all over your eyes and you are blinded.
Incredibly rude, thank you.
And then, does a 17 hit?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Just making sure.
Yes, sir.
It would indeed. Yes.
Fantastic. So you're suddenly blinded, and then you feel another presence, small but forceful, against the back of your head. Something seems to have jumped onto you, clung to you, and then you feel this sharp, kind of piercing pain as it seems to bite into you.
Ow.
You are going to
Dust
take-
mites.
That's going to be 5 points of piercing damage, and it is your turn. Snow.
Phantasmal force drops.
Oh,
I
no!
failed my concentration.
How do I circle be gone?
Circle be gone. Oh,
Happy
yes,
feeling
now
gone.
we're in for a good time.
Hey, I wasted one of its entire turns.
Yeah, no,
did.
it's good.
You
At
did.
least I did that.
You sure did.
And you damaged it.
I am still blind, I assume.
Correct. You can make a save at the end of your turn.
Almost everything I can do requires seeing something.
I picked the right one.
You could-
Thank you.
Or I could sit down and start the ritual for a tiny hut. I'm just gonna take 10 minutes right here. 11 minutes. No. I can no longer see anything. Yeah, he's gonna do it. He's gonna turn invisible.
Bye.
Interesting. Does that mean the
He
thing
does
that's
it.
on you is also invisible?
Could,
Am I wearing it?
Oh. If it's on you, then yeah, it's invisible.
Are you wearing it?
Only if I am wearing or carrying it.
I mean,
It's on
small
you.
that it's
It's backpacking on you.
It's like just.
Well, I hate that, but he doesn't know. He doesn't understand what's going on, so he does it anyway. Bonus action, he is going to, because this is like the only thing.
Actually,
he
I'll
can
say.
do.
I'm sorry. I'll say that it's not going to like occupy. It's not like actually. It's small enough that it technically could. It's considered a small creature, but I don't think that it's small enough that it could just stay in the same space as you. If it's an
I mean, if
enemy
it's an
creature.
insect type thing, then yeah.
That'd be smaller than small. That'd be tiny. That'd be
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
creature size.
it'll be behind you, so it will not go invisible with you. It'll just be behind
Okay.
you. Like it bit your neck, and either it's clinging back to the wall or wherever it was, but you didn't see where it came from. And the others are not looking.
Is he like gonna yell out and tell us he's being
Well,
attacked?
I did yell, "Ouch!"
Ouch!
Something attacked me, and then he disappears. And then you're gonna hear his voice calling out to Beau. You can't use psionic on attacks, right?
What do you mean on it? Oh, no.
Okay. I'll give you inspiration then, because that doesn't require sight. It only requires that you can hear me.
All right.
Instinctively, where I don't guess he knows from what direction it came from.
I think she said,
Like,
you
do I have
know
a
it
sense
was
of where it
behind
is?
you.
Like, which square?
I mean,
Here?
you know which direction it attacked you from. It attacked you from
And
behind.
it's like-
You don't
Okay.
know if it stayed
Right
there, but it attacked you from behind.
Right. Instinctively gonna sidestep over here.
That would.
well, he's invisible, so he can't see him
Oh yeah,
for
yeah,
opportunity
yeah.
attacks.
It's invisible.
It can still
Um,
try, technically. It
It's
would just-
invisible moving. He's invisible moving through dust.
Oh,
How
well.
does that affect
yeah, I guess
matters in a
that's-
room that's covered in dust?
It's just a
You
dusty
can see the
silhouette.
You can see the reactions from the floor. You just can't see me.
Right.
Well, if the dust settled on him, it would also
Yeah,
turn
it's-
invisible. So I would think that the dust would make him harder to figure out where he is.
It's
'cause
more
it'd
the
be like-
moving dust on the floor. But like, so but you're
Mm.
saying if he tries to attack, it would be
He'd
at
have
like what? At
disadvantage.
like disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
He can obviously still do it. He just has disadvantage.
13 with disadvantage.
Just misses.
Yeah.
Oh, lucky. Okay. You think you might hear like a chittering sound or something as you're running in the other direction, or you're sidestepping in the other direction.
Ew.
There's something else over here. That's his turn. Oh, I get to make a saving throw at the end of my
Yes,
turn.
please. Dexterity.
19.
As you're making your way and you're no longer kind of under threat, you're able to wipe this dust. of your
Dexterously
eyes.
wiping.
Yes. Because it feels like really large just wads, as if it were like wet, but it's not wet. It's just clumped together, and you're able to get it off of your face. And you
That was
realize
bad.
you realize what you're looking at as they are no longer on your face. You are looking at two dust
Ew.
bunnies
Ew.
that are now surrounding you as you wipe them off of your face.
Well, very glad they cannot see me.
That's true.
Do those two happen to ping any of Ste'yn's?
Yeah. She still has detect evil and good up. I'm so sorry. Yes. Behind you, to your left and to your right, along the wall and the ceiling, you get these 3 pings on either side. So there's 3 above you and to your right. I'll just mark them. I'll just reveal them because I
Yeah,
forgot.
but she knows their location.
She just knows things, guys. It's great. Yeah, they're about 15 feet above you, up at the top where like the ceiling meets the wall.
Excellent.
You also get the pings from the other ones across on the other side of the stair. You see 2 on the ground. It otherwise looks like wads of dust. You see 2 that are on the ground, and you see 1 more that is clinging to the wall, only about 4 or 5 feet up.
Now, all these other 4, though, is that just one Ste'yn would only see, though? Because if they were invisible before, she's only seeing them because of detect evil and good. So the rest of us don't see these other 4, right? We just saw these 2?
You would have a lot of difficulty seeing them.
Okay, so
unless
those
they were
are
pointed out to
these. So these 4 are just known to her. The ones that
you.
one.
For now.
These
But like
two.
if you if you see them attack, or if Ste'yn points out that wad of dust, you'd be able to tell it looks a little different than the rest of the dust in the room. You see her, again, with the knife in hand, you see her launch it back at the creature with that same kind of dark glow around it. It will hit, and it does an amount of damage. And then, for better or for worse, going to separate from Beau. She's going to... You don't see the movement, you just see she's in one place, and then she is in another. As she calls this dagger back to her. But now, a bit of a barrier between her and Viola. Hopefully a little bit of distraction. Let the others do their work further back. Oh.
Well, I was going to have him move there, but now that he has some free room with her leaving, he's just going to go right there in front of the stairs.
That's what she's here for.
And then he will target at this, because that's the main thing he's seeing. Oh, I got a nat 20.
Woo!
Heck yeah.
Get him.
It's 9. So that's 18 plus 3, so 21. And then for his bonus action, he's going to throw another knife. And that one's going to... Actually, he has the... I guess I'll add the inspiration. Okay, cool. So that's a 5 plus 6. That would be an 11 plus 8. So that's 17 for the second one.
Okay.
And that one's going to be 4 more damage.
Okay.
And that will be
Yeah.
everything for him.
Lady Ste'yn, it's your turn.
First up, we're just gonna call out. There's 6 more small creatures back here between the two sides, and she'll roughly point it out in case if anyone's looking. Action, we're going to... We'll do Sacred Flame at one of the ones she sees over by where Snow went invisible, because she has a feeling he's over there somewhere. So that's a dexterity save.
You got a 5.
Excellent. It takes 14 radiant damage.
Gosh, overkill, don't you think? As you let out this blast of radiant damage, and you see literally as if it were lint that was like set on fire. It just kind of like sizzles and then just like into this smaller bit of dust spray that just disappears in the air.
Look at that, I'm lighting up the room again. And then we're gonna have Spiritual Weapon bonk our big boy over here.
Okay.
That is a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that is 12 force damage. She's okay with where she is. She can keep an eye on a lot of things.
She's okay where she is. I'm glad to hear it. Because... Ste'yn, can you please give me a dexterity saving throw?
Yep, that's natural 20.
Woo! You see 2 of them start to kind of... The 2 above you start to kind of clump together as they drop down towards you and towards your face, and you're able to sidestep them as they just land on the ground beside you. The third one kind of drift, almost like a skydiver aiming right for you. And now I need you to make a con saving throw, as this one does make contact with your face.
That is a 17.
That is also successful. This one was going lower on your face, seeming to attack near your chin and your mouth, but you just kind of feel it soft kind of fluff just bop into your face and then fall back onto the ground. But now you've got these 3 dusty boys looking your way.
Time to play.
Last but not least, our buddy here. Now he gets to move. He's going to move here.
Such
Here.
movement. Oh, I thought you were stopping right there, and I was like, such movement.
I know. He moves. As you see, actually, he is going to stop here. Viola, you watch as this, it looked more fully formed and is almost like draconic look. Then you see it start to become wispier, the dust becoming thinner as it moves in your direction, moves almost through you, and you're kind of standing in this swirl of dust that's blowing your hair back, almost shaking your crown out of place as it's just a vortex of this dust. It also seems to get thicker. This area that I said was difficult terrain, you notice the dust there seems to lift up and kind of join this swirling vortex of creature, of elemental, and it looks bulkier.
I think it just healed itself a bit.
And then, man, I was so wishing. That's all right. Try again later. And then I need Viola, if you can please make me a strength saving throw.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'm gonna
Yeah, I
eat
thought you
those
might be.
words. I can feel it already. That's a
You've already
10.
used it in that one.
I
Really?
can still roll a 4.
Don't you have inspiration?
Can I
You have to-
use my
you have to-
inspiration?
You have to claim it before the roll.
I know.
All right, you, ma'am, find yourself, the vortex around you starts picking up. Parts of it are becoming larger clumps that are knocking into you. You are going to take 12 bludgeoning damage,
Jeez.
and you find your feet no longer stable on the ground as you find yourself lifting up in the air. Just a little bit.
On our next tale.
And Ste'yn, you are now standing in this vortex of dust.
Excellent.
And on its way towards this other dust bunny, you kind of see them congeal together.
There's no time to waste. Ste'yn, show us the meaning of haste.
In theory, I feel like it's a bad idea to circle this tornado of a thing.
It's absorbing its children.
And you don't see them any longer.
What a good mother.
Obviously. As she gets launched 20 feet from this swirling dusty vortex directly towards Beau.
We take Nora out once and we get her killed.
And there is this enormous burst of fire that explodes in front of you.
She's still doing that.
Yeah. As you all are blasted backwards, taking 44 points of fire damage.